Not all index funds are the same, and if you think you own the market, you might be in for a surprise. See, the word index gets used like it means one thing, but it doesn't. An S&P 500 index tracks the 500 largest U.S. companies. A Nasdaq index fund is much more concentrated in technology, and a Dow Jones index fund is probably going to replicate 30 Dow Jones Industrial Average stocks. Index is the same word, but a completely different mix. And that difference can show up in your returns. In 2025, for example, the S&P 500 returned about 18%. The Nasdaq was up about 21%. But in years when technology stocks pull back, the same concentration that drove gains can work against you in the same way. Then you start to expand beyond just broad market indexes. What about the growth index? Vanguard, BlackRock, Schwab, they all have different definitions of the word growth. And the same would go for a value index. Are they based off the S&P 500, the Russell 1000, something else entirely? Stocks can change categories too. A recent Wall Street Journal article by Jason Zweig highlights how companies like Micron and SanDisk, two big memory chip companies, flipped from value to growth categorization midway through this year. The timing of that switch and when the funds are included in the ETF can totally change the characteristics of that fund and of your investment holdings. So the real question isn't whether you own an index fund, it's whether you know what's actually inside your index fund and whether that mix lines up with the portfolio you're trying to build, the timeline you're working with, and the balance you want between growing your money today and protecting what you've built for tomorrow. Your plan and investment should be built to meet long-term goals, and knowing what's in your funds is a big part of getting that right. If this is the kind of thing you'd like some help building out a diversified portfolio, know what you own, hit follow. I'll keep sharing what you need to know.